right, at 6:30, we'll start the meeting. We do have a couple things to amend the agenda. We have an addition of the March 6th town meeting minutes that we need to approve. And let's see, there's an additional warrant of $7,990.91.
7,000.
You got a copy?
$990.91. And then we have to discuss a change of meeting minutes for this month.
Dates.
Meeting dates.
Thank you, sorry. So do I have does anybody else have anything to amend to the agenda? Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Whatever.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have meeting minutes of December 20th, liquor board meetings select board meeting minutes of December 20th, liquor board meetings minutes of the same
Liquor
date.
board can go under your liquor board heading because you do have that on the agenda.
All right, you want to just adopt all the minutes at the same time? Just
Either
saying.
way.
Okay. And then again, March 6th.
No, you've already done.
There's 2 executive sessions listed, but
Yeah,
they're not
there's-
probably the right one
On
for
the
legal.
So anything on any of those minutes?
No, but you said you got executive session, that needs to be added
We
to
have-
the agenda.
No, it's already
already
on
on
the
the
agenda, down here.
Oh, okay.
It's on the agenda already.
Okay.
He skipped a day in reading class when he was younger.
Fine.
Well, I skipped too. We were in the same class.
Yeah, yes.
All right, so nothing on any of those meeting minutes, okay. And I guess we don't have a town manager report this evening, or do you have?
I have some information
Okay.
if you'd like it.
Yes, please.
The water and sewer billing went out December 22nd with a February 2nd due date. And they have, it looks like those, if the same billing happens in June, they'll have hit their profit targets for the year. The Better Roads Grant application was submitted at the end of December for a culvert that we would like to do. The source protection plan for the water department is under review right now for a 3-year renewal. I did ask Tom about this the other day to see if the select board had ever seen it before. He said he didn't know as he had, so I will probably bring it to the next meeting for your review.
I
since
think it's
supposed to
because
be.
it was a separate board for the water and sewer.
Well, it said in the source protection plan that the select board would be able to review it annually, and I don't think you've ever seen it annually, so I'll be bringing it just so that you guys can review it. I've given department heads budget status reports to stay on top of their current budget spending. Most of them are within where they're supposed to be. Basketball season games will be starting, not this weekend, but the following weekend, I believe, at Lothrop. We're just over a week away from the charity disc golf tournament on January 14th at the rec center, and they've actually had really good feedback and a lot of sponsorships come in for that so far, so it looks like it's gonna be a really good event. And then, we had a sewer clog on Route 7 that was successfully taken care of in-house yesterday. We didn't have to call anybody to help take care of it. And today, Lisa Wright received the 2023 equalization study for the CLA and COD. She's gonna review the data to make sure there's no errors for the town portion, and we'll have a full report shortly for you guys.
Okay, great. Thank
And I have one question on was it the water and sewer you reported first, that they sent
Yes.
out the bills?
Yep,
So that would be more on their estimated income, right?
Yes.
Not the profit.
well, estimated incomes, but it flows down to the profits, but
Yeah, but okay. just
their
wanna make
estimated
sure.
incomes
Their
will
estimated
be
income, yep.
within target
Right.
for both fiscal years, this year and what we've projected for next year.
And then I did talk to Dave earlier today, and we did get the $4,000 grant for the enhanced energy plan.
Yep, and we already received the funds too.
All right. Any select board member remarks? Nothing? Any public comments? Hi.
You want us to go in public comment, or?
Yeah, you're not on the agenda, so I'm not sure if somebody
That
had
would be the
reached out
time.
to try to get on the agenda, but, yeah.
In that case, hello again, I'm Doug Perkins. I am the immediate past chair of the Otter Creek Watershed Insect Control District. With me tonight, Jeff Schuman, who is now the chair, He was elected at our November meeting. And Steve Belcher, who you all know, he is one of your representatives. Alicia is the other. And you still have not appointed an alternate representative. You're entitled to 3 folks at the table at our meetings, of whom 2 have votes. For most of this past year, Steve has been there religiously, but that means that the town of Pittsford has only had 1 vote at the table. I'm going to quickly review the year that just was, and Jeff will talk about things that are coming up after I get done. The big news this year was that at town meeting day last year, Proctor voted to join the district. As you all are well aware, they were under contract with us for about 4 years before that, but now they're full members. The upshot of that is that with them now contributing their share, plus a buy-in, the assessments for the other towns have gone down just a little bit. As you are well aware as well, it rained last year, and then it rained some more, and then we had a flood in July. And the consequence of all that is ideal conditions to breed mosquitoes, and we couldn't get out on many a night because if there's rain in the forecast, we can't spray. So overall, we were less than successful at keeping the nuisance level where we'd like to see it throughout the district. Now, the good news for Pittsford is, on the nights that we were scheduled to spray here, it didn't rain a whole lot, and you got sprayed more than any of the other towns in the district. Probably still not enough, but you got treated better than places like Leicester, where I'm from, where every Friday night it seemed to rain, and that meant we didn't get sprayed, we didn't get sprayed, we didn't get sprayed. As I said to you last year when I was here in November of 2022, the district approved a new assessment algorithm, the way that we calculate what an equitable apportionment of our expenses are among the 6 towns. We delayed implementing that for 1 year to make sure everybody was happy with it and comfortable. That goes into effect for 2024. The town manager should already have the assessment numbers for that, and you also should have this report that I'm referring back to, which is our report to the towns for inclusion in your town report. And the last thing I have to say is that at our meeting in November, which is our annual meeting, Jeff was elected the new chair. I'm now the vice chair. Jeff was the vice chair. There's no incest here. Steve has been and will continue to be our secretary. We have a new treasurer, Lynn Peck, who's from Leicester. He's going to take over from Brad Laws, who some of you know. And then we implemented a new position for the executive committee called an auditor. And I lost it. Jeff Whiting, thank you. Jeff Whiting from Goshen will fill that position. We had a sense on the board that we needed to get a little bit more rigorous on our internal financial controls. And so that's what that position is going to focus in on. So that's the week, or the year that was. Now Jeff will talk about what's coming up.
Thanks, Doug. And if someone else would like to be the chair or the vice chair, Doug and I will gladly step aside and hand it over to you anytime. So just give us a call, we'll make it happen. 2 things. First of all, and I think the town manager may have received something from our new treasurer, we seem to have a cash flow problem every year because folks tend to send us their money after you collect your taxes. And we need the money in the summertime because that's when we're doing all our work. We really don't need the money in the fall except to pay back ourselves from what we borrowed. And we've been borrowing against the credit line and then paying it back every year. So we're going to try something a little different. We're going to ask the towns to pay on a quarterly basis. And so the new treasurer will invoice you guys on a quarterly basis, and hopefully that'll keep our cash flow going so that we don't end up having to hit the credit line every summer to make ends meet for, usually August, September, and October till tax money comes in. So you'll see that as a bit of a change. And secondly, the permitting process. where each year we have to apply for a permit, and we're applying for the permit again. However, the state keeps moving the goal line on us. And this time they've moved it substantially. They've moved it to a different level of technology they'd like to see in our trucks, to the tune of about $70,000 if we were to meet their demands. We're negotiating with them, we're back and forth, we've had conversations with them, we have more conversations coming up. If we had to do that, we'd be out of business. We don't have $70,000 to do that kind of capital improvements. We've offered the idea of overtime over 3 or 4 years. They don't seem to be supportive of that right now. So we'll keep you posted on that and let you know. But we will not get a permit right now until we've met their needs and their demands, and financially we can't do that. So that's going to take a negotiation.
Is that issued through the Department of Agriculture?
Yes.
And who is involved with that with you?
Well, the director is Steve Dornell, and his deputy director is Dave Huber.
Is that who you deal with?
Both of them. They're both on the calls.
All right.
Yeah. So we're working through that. But.
So what are they asking you to do?
So they would like to have a system on the truck that as we drive along, it gets a GPS signal, so it tells you where you are, how much chemical's going out of the truck at the time, and then at the end of the night, it gives you a data report. It says it drove down road X and it went half a mile and it put out this much chemical at this rate. And then it rode down road Y and it does that. We don't have the technology. What we do is we set the flow meter at a constant rate, 12 ounces per minute. We drive down the road. At the end of the night, the technician refills the container in the back of the truck. We say, okay, 100 ounces were sprayed on the Pittsford run. And we know pretty much if we're 100, 102, 98, we're right in the ballpark for what we should be. That's the way we've been doing it for 30 years. That's not good enough anymore. They want more specific data. They want GPS data. They want these high-tech systems, which are really slick, will put out beautiful reports and they print them right out and everything else. But you know, that's 70 grand to get up and running and another $8,000 in licensing per year to keep it up and running.
That's crazy. Well, I won't say what I'm gonna say.
So we've said it, I'm sure.
Bite my tongue.
So we're working on that. You know, we'll keep you posted through your reps and hopefully we can resolve it and be out there and doing the work as soon as the mosquitoes start flying again. But that's a major issue for us right here going through the winter.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else?
Questions?
Nope, thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll keep posted.
All right, thank you.
I think we're done for the night.
Okay,
Good luck.
thanks.
The state could.
Thanks for having us.
because of
Yeah,
that
have a good night.
mosquito Lake down here, maybe the state could.
Happy New Year to all.
would think so.
70 grand.
Happy New Year to you
They
too.
require things they should pay for it. All right, any other public comment?
I'm doing public comment right now.
Yes.
Well, I'm just, came to you because Neil and I were not paid our vacation time. The town manager flat out refused to pay us for what we've earned since our last date, which mine was February 8th to November 30th. And Neil, I'm not sure, I think he started in September. It's supposed to be 4 prorated days per year, according to union contract, which is what we've always gone by, even though we're non-union employees. My regular hours when I was hired were 11.75 per week. And I'm just wondering if I'm ever gonna get paid. It's been over a month waiting for this and flat out refusal from the town manager. Which we didn't quit, we didn't get fired, our jobs were terminated, and we were let go.
How much
So-
time do you have coming to?
Well, I had 8.5 hours last year for vacation time, and I think 4 prorated hours would be close to 10 or 11 this year, according to the union contract. And I just wanted an answer whether we're gonna get paid. We're both on fixed incomes.
Did he explain why?
No, he wouldn't. He just wanted to argue about it. And twice on the phone, once here, he said he was gonna take care of it, and then I waited for the check, it never showed up. I talked to him on the phone, he says, no, we're not paying you. And as far as I know, by what I've heard, I was told by the union rep, to come to the select board,
Okay.
because they can't do anything for me because I am a non-union member. And plus, I talked to Vermont Wage and Hour, and they said they didn't want to open a case until I came to the select board.
Okay.
But I would like an answer tonight.
So how many hours is it that you're looking for then?
It's got to be figured that prorating, I'm not sure how that exactly works, but I figure it should be close to 9 or 10, but I'm only 43 weeks into the year from when my last is, so it's for 43 weeks for me. I'm not sure what it is for Neil.
So Wayne, I've got a question for you.
Yes,
Because as a fellow employee, I know how the payroll system works. In February, because that's your renewal date.
right,
Did you receive your vacation time?
yes, I did,
Okay, so
for
that.
last year.
No, it goes, that's the vacation time that you'd earned that goes forward.
No, I looked that up on all my pay stubs. I get paid at the end of the year for your vacation.
So you have to work a year before you earn vacation.
Yes.
And then once you get that vacation,
It
you
comes
have the
every-
next year to do it. But you earn it. I
That
don't,
is not the way it works. I've been let off, I left another place, I got paid my vacation on my anniversary date. When I left the place, I got paid my accrued vacation earnings up to the time when I left.
but I don't believe that's the way the union contract is written or the personnel policy is written here. You have whatever you're allotted, like my anniversary date is May 16th. So on May 16th, I get whatever
You
weeks
get,
are coming to me.
according to the assistant treasurer, that is last year's, when I got 8.5 in February, is last year's earned vacation time. And that's the way it's always been any place I've always worked. You never get it until your anniversary date.
So you said it's gonna prorate to like 9 or 10
I'm
hours?
just rough guessing.
9 or 10 hours?
Well, how can
Yeah.
it be 9 or 10 hours if last year you only got
8.5, this year, according to the contract, it's
Four.
4 prorated days. And that's figured on my 11.75
Is this days or hours?
per week.
It's 4 prorated days, but it's prorated based on, like, his days were 3 to 6 were 3 hours, and then 8 to 2, right?
Oh,
Was
it's-
six.
It's only
Right,
like
yeah,
a
it wasn't like an
0.25
hour day.
I see,
FTE.
okay, now I understand. It's the hours of the day, okay. I
Yeah.
got it, yep.
We're talking 8.5 hours?
Yeah. I don't,
So,
I'm gonna make a comment. I think we should take care of this. I don't think it's that big a deal.
Let it go away. Let it go away.
And Neil's is even less, because
Yeah.
his, I think, was starting in September.
No,
okay,
But,
no,
yeah.
Well, it's only like 2 months,
No.
that's like 2 hours.
yeah, no.
yeah, it's not a lot, but it's
I'll
just
make a
the,
motion.
And I'm gonna second it, that we
Go
cover
ahead
this.
and pay his 8.5 hours that it got coming to him.
Okay, any
And
further?
his coworker, same
Do
thing.
you want to specify
We-
number of hours
I
in the
don't know
motion
his-
or prorated
I
hours?
just suit if you do the prorating,
The
because I want to
prorated
do it the
hours.
right way.
The right way. Do it the right way.
So Wayne is 8.5 hours, Neil is how many?
I don't know Neil's. I knew. what
Neil's,
wages
I
they
think,
had.
is only like 12 weeks into the year of his, because I think he got his in September.
Let's figure it correctly and get.
I know, let's- yeah.
Let's not do it here.
So the motion I have to pay the prorated hours due the two
Two
transfer
employees.
station
Correct.
employees.
Correct.
That's my motion.
And that's my second.
Any further discussion on that?
Is there anything that needs to be done to clarify this and so this kind of a mix-up don't happen again, or is it just a misunderstanding of?
Well, I've never been paid my time ahead of time. It's always been at the end of my year, every place I've ever worked.
Right,
You gotta earn it first before you get it, to use it.
I'm just wondering if somehow or other, this whole thing kind of fell through the cracks because things weren't thoroughly understood and might be some correction made, maybe not.
Well, I think, and I'm not against anything we're doing here, so, but I'm just listening to what Ann said. You have to work here a year before you get it, okay? So let's just say you started January 1st, you were here for a year, and then I guess I don't understand why, I mean, you're saying they're getting paid a year ahead, which,
Can't be.
why are you paying it all, why aren't you waiting until you see whether they take those 4 days or not?
That's the way it works.
I'm not in charge of human
she isn't
resources.
Well, no, but I'm just curious,
So,
because where I am,
any
well,
place,
personal days you lose, but like sick days, it accumulates to the end of the year if you haven't used them, and then at the end, you can count.
so that's not the way the,
Government works.
well, no, it's not the way the union contract was written or the personnel policy, which was piggybacked on the
Okay,
union contract. Any place I've worked other than this, it was always accrued on a monthly basis, and the first of the month it was added, or the last week of the month, it was added to your paycheck. Here, they do it on your anniversary date, so it's a little different.
This is something,
so technically, you wouldn't get that until after you'd been here 2 years.
So I didn't get my vacation time, I started May 16th.
Yeah,
I didn't get my vacation time, and, so no time off, no sick, no vacation, until May 16th.
So you got paid for.
No, sorry, sick time you get after 6 months or 3 months, I forget which it is.
okay.
'Cause it was right, but it's a little different, it's not the way it's been for me.
could I call for a vote, we can clarify this with the
No,
town
yeah,
manager?
That's fine, so we had a first, we had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
all right.
Okay.
I wanna thank you. I've been dealing with this for a month, trying to go through the town manager, and it just hasn't,
All right.
we don't-
just didn't understand.
We'll get it.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you,
Yep.
and I will leave you to.
Okay. You're welcome. Any other public comment? Okay. All right, old business, budget review. Now, I know there was a hope and a wish and a prayer that we would come up with an extra 100,000 to take off the budget, but other than paving, which there was a consensus that we would not like to cut paving, I don't see anywhere without disrupting any services that we provide to the town of Pittsford, but it sounds like you might have an
Like Mark
idea,
does.
Mark.
I didn't say anything. I have some questions, because I went through the whole thing, so. And Ian probably can answer a lot of them, so. And I highlighted them in, so I got them here.
Okay.
Maybe some clarifications. On page 15 of the 39.
Yep.
And that is under police, we have Omea truck detail expense.
Yep,
Our budget's for 19,000.
yes.
So our budget in '24 was 16. Our actual in '23 was 18.
Yep.
And it looks like we're somewhere near that now. I've noticed that our receipts for tickets are down to date, at least by the report I got in front of me today.
Hold on, so I'm gonna answer your question.
And is there any reason why we raised this $3,000?
Yes, because if you look on page 4 of 39, under police revenue, Amia truck detail used to be budgeted at 24,000, and it's been going up every year. Last year, they ended up paying us 31,110. This year already, they've paid us 18,950.
So where are we
and
on
we're
the
only
line here?
6 months into.
Omea truck detail, yeah.
So our revenues keep going up from Amia, so therefore our expenses are going up because they're requiring more police presence than we originally had
So that's
anticipated.
directly associated with that, okay? So I am guessing that's why we have 25,000 patrol car fuel.
Because we now have 3 vehicles on the road, anticipating that they are going to need to be on the road more. We will hopefully,
Well,
have other officers out patrolling
but they
more
never,
frequently.
all 3 of them are on the road all the time.
But we need 2 on the road at this point with Chittenden, Amia, Pittsford, and we'd like to have 2 patrol cars out because sometimes Chittenden wants daytime patrol and we're patrolling.
And we're roughly
Pittsford
halfway through
or
the year
Anya.
and we're at $8,000.
And we've had 1 patrol vehicle functioning.
You know, we didn't
Currently.
overdo it last month, so that's why I'm just wondering, is this a little overdone?
I don't believe so with what's coming down the pike.
I might differ a little on that. That's
If
a
you start
size-
patrolling 2 more towns, it's gonna be a lot more wear and tear on your vehicles.
I don't know, that looks a little high to me. Recreation Department. Page, I'm sorry.
16, 17.
On the bottom, we're budgeting 56,000 for management.
That was discussed in executive session not that long ago.
Yeah, that's what I wanna make sure that's what that was regarding. That was
Yes.
my question. Correct?
Huh?
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Grounds management. We
So,
budgeted 20 last year. We're
And he-
looking to bring that up to another $6,000.
he actually ended up working 22,160. He's had some conversations with
So
Dave.
that's been lowered? Is that what you said?
No, last year he ended up working 22,000. He went over budget last year. And he's already at 13,332.51 this year. So we're looking at historically what he's been actually
You're
working.
You're referring, okay, you're referring
And
to
then
our employee. Okay.
he's also had a conversation with Dave about hours and such that I don't have all of the information.
Under spring programs, that's a combination, isn't that what you told me before?
Spring programs we have combined, so you will see under softball, baseball, t-ball, etc. We moved all of them to spring programs. We're trying to streamline the budget so we don't have so many lines.
So those lines zeroed
So
out.
those all lines zeroed out
Just
and it
wanna make
rolled
sure,
up.
yeah. Further along on page 18, what's other contract services for 3,500? Or was that
That's-
once again a grouping together of
That's
something
my
else?
rec.
Oh, that's my rec. Alright. In the buildings and ground maintenance,
Was a
1,000?
was a combination. It used to be 2 different things. It was buildings and grounds maintenance and ball field maintenance. I combined them into one line. And we also increased it because we know that some of the ball fields need a lot more clay than what we have able to be budgeted for this fiscal year we're in, trying to build them back up from wear and tear over the years.
Lastly here, the capital fund was raised 3,000 for, remember what it was for? We had 5,000 in it last year.
We're working on a VOREC grant, and this would help if we have to have matching funds for the VOREC grant.
And what's the VOREC grant?
It's an outdoor grant. It's for a planning and scoping study.
A planning and scoping study of what?
The rec center for a possible building so that we're not reliant on the Lothrop School, because that has become a massive issue this year.
Yeah.
This bottom line, the rec, I do think is a little on the healthy side. Going to page 20. No, that was something I just highlighted so I remember it. Under highway on, page 21, I see we budgeted for equipment rental again. I know we rented some stuff to repair a road this year. Is that a plan to do another road next year? Is that why that's budgeted? Because usually we don't.
We hadn't budgeted in the past. We'd like to have a budget in there just in case, because you never know, a flood happens or a massive natural disaster happens, and we wanted to
So is it
have.
like-
Well, that's true, but that's what
Catastrophe
paving's for.
That's why we,
I'm just wondering if, I know we spent that money on that excavator to do the road at the end of the year, right, Ian? That's what that bigger expense was, right?
Rental.
For the equipment rental?
on page 21.
I mean, it's always been budgeted.
No, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's down, it's like 2/3 of the way down. We had been
thank you.
budgeting 2,000, we budgeted 5,000 for this year, he wanted 5,000 again for next year. If they do the culvert in-house that the Better Road Grant is for, they will need to rent a piece of equipment for that.
Oh, that's right.
Unless they put it out to bid, they don't have a piece of equipment for part of that project.
So that's anticipation of doing that culvert this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
That-
you know, fiscal year 24, 25,
That's what I was
yes.
looking for, just
Yes.
why we had it in
Yeah,
there.
no, we have the Better Roads Grant that we're trying to get, and if we do that, we do need to, I believe, rent a piece of equipment.
To the next page, 22, on the line striping, is that catch-up? Is that what that is, going to 12?
Yes, because last year when we were going over the budget with the previous town manager, we were gonna do 6,000 a year, 1 year, and then the next year do catch-up. He didn't spend any this year because he thought it was completely cut, so he wants the 12,000 for next year to do the catch-up.
Yep.
Yep, because he did not do it. And he bought some paint just to fix up a couple spots, but he didn't do massive line striping or something.
Right.
And looking at where paving was, I know we discussed that, but I don't think there's 100 there either, to be honest with you. It's heavy, but it's not.
Chad feels, so I've had 3 conversations with Chad since the last board meeting, and he said if you cut 100,000, it's not gonna hurt him with his long-term plan. He said he'll have to shuffle one road, but it's not gonna be detrimental to the citizens, especially if we can get the Class 2 grant for this next year.
There you go.
Well, maybe I don't have to go too much farther. Well, I just want to ask, I think we might have just hit on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
One last question. Under highway vehicles and equipment, which is on the same page.
Yes.
Down to outside maintenance and repairs,
Yes,
we have 20,000 budgeted. We budgeted 20,000 last year.
yep, and they used 20,789 last year.
Do we think that's gonna stay the same?
We have no idea, it depends on our equipment.
It's just guessing. really.
It's a pot, like I said, I went by history. We used to budget 25,000, we cut it down to 20, we went slightly over last year. This year, we might be slightly under, but we don't know what's gonna happen next year. I mean, you have a minor accident and you've automatically got a $20,000 bill to fix fiberglass, so.
Yep, that's fine. Just wanna make sure what it was. So, I gotta think, and by Tom's nod, I think he agrees with me, that we might have some room in that paving. And honestly, I don't think we should stay heavy with it this year, not what kind of increases we're seeing.
We need to knock that 100 out of paving, and that gets us where we want to be.
Do you know where that puts us on an
That puts us-
overall up?
It puts us at under 0. If we knock 100 off, I don't have the calculation right in front of me, but it'll be close to 0 or under 0.
Is that with everything in it, or is that not
That's
including?
with everything.
That's with everything, even the
Even
estimated,
appropriations?
Even the special appropriations?
estimated
believe so.
appropriations?
Yes,
That's good.
Oh,
because,
Sweet.
because, if you take 100,000 out of paving, that's, it takes pretty much, 9% out of highway. And highway
I was
right,
up 8.
well, no, hold on.
Right.
Highway is, when you're looking at what they're requesting from, they're asking for, it would be a 9.94% increase for property taxes. If you take 9% out, it's like a almost 1% increase in highway, but you're at a negative with general fund. With special appropriations, it'd bring general fund to about 0, so you're looking at either a -1 to a 1% increase. You're somewhere
Everything in
with
appropriations,
everything, all in.
as they're.
All
included
in
now.
as of right now. Special appropriations may change slightly because some of our
So it could
special
even be lower.
appropriations have not,
It could even be
have
lower.
not brought in petitions.
Because
So-
I know the
For that
bus called
reason.
me tonight, or to this
The the bus has been pushing hard. There are several
I'm thinking probably we
organizations.
should go half of that, yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm sorry, we're just mumbling at each other. Maybe we should only take 50,000
50 out of the paving.
I think that'll take.
I mean, I don't mind,
somewhere else too, then.
like I've said, 3%, it's gotta be 3% or less. I mean, you know,
Yeah, we
this,
can't.
we can't just keep going these massive numbers, so I have no
Would
problem
50
with
do
that.
that? Keep us under that?
50 would get you to
Right around 3.
roughly 3. I could give you an exact number. In between this meeting and executive session, I can go plug numbers and tell you.
Well,
So
here's what it takes 60.
if,
75 is half.
Huh?
75
What if-
you're splitting.
what if we hold our budget on what we did in '24, which was 340, that would take 60 out? Is that gonna, is that what Tom just said? I'm sorry,
That's
Tom.
pretty
I
much
didn't hear you.
Pretty much what he said, yeah.
I didn't hear him say that, so, yeah, I'm with you.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because if Chad thinks taking the full
That leaves
100,000 out
40.
isn't
That
going
leaves
to be
us some- leaves
detrimental,
us
but that
some
still gives us some
little work.
cushion.
No.
So
I'm good with that.
I think
Yeah,
that's.
well, that gives us, I mean, 40 grand worth of cushion if something.
Yeah, let's,
Right.
I think that's
We need
smarter.
cushion.
Yeah, we can't, it'd be nice to go to 0, but
I know.
No, well, it's.
this is pretty tight.
Yeah.
I would say let's
So we're all
go
in
there, let's
consensus
go
on
there
that?
with that one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Ann.
welcome.
Are we ready to vote on the budget?
Not yet.
No?
Gotta see the numbers on the end there, yeah.
Is there room?
Okay.
Is that
So-
gonna be our next meeting? We'll vote on it?
So
Well,
the
we
next
might, the
meeting-
next meeting might not be the.
Well, no.
So, yeah,
Whatever,
how does that
even
work
the
time-wise?
The-
I have,
so-
is there room to
If
pick
we
up any
don't-
money through special appropriations?
That's why we
We had a
spoke
couple, were in here a couple meetings back, and I asked the question, what have you done for this town? We've supported that particular group for quite a number of years. The answer to my question is what they had actually done for this town really wasn't anything.
Right.
Should we keep funding at the same level, or they might have been even looking for a little increase? I mean, that's debatable to me. I don't know how the rest of you folks.
Right, well, that's, I mean, it's up to the
It's up to the
voters
voters.
to, you
It's
know,
up to the voters.
Thank you. Right, but it just seems like we're paying for some services that we're not really,
Oh,
Don't
I
disagree.
don't think you're gonna get any argument from any of us, but it's not up to us. It's up to the voters, and they
that's
need
something
to,
we need to talk about later.
well, they'll
Or-
get to vote at a town meeting, so.
Or encourage everyone to take a look at it and make sure they're comfortable
Comfortable
with their
with
tax
the-
dollars doing
Where,
it.
where it's going, yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I think that,
So,
That would reflect
we should
later.
answer your question.
Yeah.
If we meet the 24th, I will plug the number into the warning that will take effect by taking the $60,000 out.
Okay.
And then each special appropriation has to be individually voted on this year because they each have their own petition. So our budget number will not include, our tax number will not include special appropriations this year because then each one, so then when it comes time to do the tax bill, then they'll all level up into general fund.
Okay.
And that will be on the tax bill, not, we're not gonna break down each special appropriation on somebody's tax bill. It all gets
Right.
rolled up into general fund in the end, but this year you're gonna see general fund without special appropriations. Then the voters are gonna vote individually on them, yay or nay, and then all of it'll roll up to come tax time to do the tax bills.
So,
Right?
We took the number from last year, so it's gonna be either at that or potentially lower.
so, okay,
That was
so
my question.
how does it happen that we're voting on them individually this year? Cause
Because
it's
we,
been a blanket thing every other year.
because we made everybody petition this year. We started everybody with blank slate this year and we said, because I have no idea how long ago my predecessor decided to have everybody petition for their allocations. And we noticed some discrepancies with some
Yes.
organizations.
Correct.
And so we said across the board, we wanted to have everybody petition this year, make a level playing
Yeah, we
field for
all-
everybody.
Yep.
And whoever put in the effort, that's fine. We know that there are some that are super struggling to get the 114 signatures. They've been going door to door, they've been a lot of them have had petitions here, Keith's, Kamuta's, and the library, they're still struggling to get those. We think there's only one so far that has. I've told people like the bus, as long as you can show an effort, I think that's worth something, but it's the ones that aren't, I haven't heard from some, I've had returned mail from some, I've had to hunt them down, I have had no.
We need to weed them out, that's
Well,
why.
and that was our
I
intention.
don't think we
So-
need to go over and above, we just
So
need to
this
let
is-
them.
this
I've been on the board, that's been our intention.
This is
We
how
never
we're
figured
weeding
out
them
how to
out
do
this
it.
year, is we're doing the level,
Yeah.
Good, okay.
level playing field. Whoever actually goes through and does the legwork will be as part of the warning for town meetings.
So backing up a few minutes, we're not having a meeting on the 17th, is that what we're talking about? I
So-
missed this.
Yeah, that was, we were gonna add, we added
We
that
don't know
under new
yet.
business because of.
Okay,
of-
I just heard that comment.
There's a logistical issue.
Yeah,
All right, we'll wait till then. All right,
But if we approve the budget on
24th.
24th.
wherever the calendar is.
24th, it's the bottom one.
The 24th, we're still okay.
So you're going to have to approve the budget with that number, and that number is already gonna show up in the warning that you need to approve that night, because it's a domino effect thing, so you're gonna have to approve your budget, approve the warning with that dollar amount in there, and then,
do we want her to get those numbers together while we're in executive or whatever and come back out and do that, or no, what do you wanna do?
We don't need them till the 24th unless you're.
No,
really
long as your estimates are fairly close,
I'm
we should be
sure-
okay.
I'm sure they
If
are.
you wanted before, but.
No, I didn't know we were missing that week, so
Yeah,
I'm catching up with what.
Well, maybe, we haven't decided yet.
So let's
Well,
get to
yeah.
that point first, sorry, thank you. Ian, for-
I know, well, we might as well just segue into that. So the issue is that, well, I guess I'll let you explain it.
so we have all of these petitions out for special appropriations. Legally, all of those petitions have until the 18th, is it 6 o'clock at night, Tom?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock at night.
5 o'clock on the.
We're supposed to meet on the 17th. I need a warning approved by you and a budget approved by you before I can finish the town report. I have to have the town report to the printers by the 29th. So if we meet on the 17th, we can't do a warning because we're not gonna know who's legally finished their petitions and who hasn't and what's good or not good. And,
They have to check the.
They have to check the
checklist
voter
of the
checklist and everything.
petition, So
so
simple.
Helen said, I can't put them on a warning for you to approve on the 17th when they have until the 18th at 5 PM to turn everything in to be on a warning. So in order for us to stay legal, I'm asking if we can move the 17th meeting to the 24th so that we can stay legal to have all of these petitions double-checked for accuracy of voter registration signatures and get the warning aired out with who's supposed to be on there by the petitions and so on and so forth.
By changing that meeting date, that'll give you the
That
time
will
you
give-
need.
That'll,
Helen needs to.
it'll
get
give
that.
Helen the time and I can scramble and have the warning done. You will likely have a draft of your warning in the packet that you receive on the 19th. You may have an updated one when you come in on the 24th, depending on what she finds with signatures, etc., because she said it might take her until the 23rd to finish up
The
everything she needs to
24th
do with the
is when you would
checklist.
like to have the next meeting.
So the 24th, to keep it on a Wednesday. I said the 24th.
There's 5 Wednesdays, so we still won't have back-to-back meetings.
Works for me, I don't know about the rest of you.
Works for me.
I'll make it work.
Okay,
I guess it's whatever.
okay. Do we need a vote, or is just a consensus on that?
It's fine.
We
No,
probably should.
because
call
we,
it.
I know, we
should,
said we
because you-
scheduled the
I'll
beginning
make
of
a
the.
motion to change.
Move our meeting
Okay.
till
Okay, I'll
January
second.
24th.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Because you've posted-
Because we posted.
That's, yeah,
Yes, yeah.
okay. All right, let's just, back up, we have one more old business, the no through traffic signage for Arch Street.
So I did some research last week about this. I looked at other cities and towns around us, I looked at what state ordinances are. In none of them are there no through traffic ordinances. They have stop signs, yield signs, stop lights, etc., but no through traffic signs are on any ones that I've read. I did Rutland City, Fairhaven, Richmond,
I mean, we could be the
Castleton.
first.
We went through that
There are
enough.
some
way
streets and
back.
roads go through.
Tom.
I've seen no through traffic
There's
signs.
no true traffic signs in these towns, but there's no ordinance to back it up, and
To
that's what
enforce it.
we were asked to look at ordinances for no through traffic. I can't find, even on the traffic signs, ordinances that are templates or whatever, no through
Just vote
traffic.
to make it a-
Well, or should we get hold of VLCT?
So their
Looking into it.
their template for traffic control does not have no through signs.
So there's, okay.
So
it would be
their
actually
old
worth it.
template, their new website doesn't have the template on it. I had found an old one and it didn't have no through traffic. It just had stop, yield, and
So let's just
lights.
order a couple signs.
Just order the sign, put them up. I don't know
Yeah.
if we can legally enforce it, but. why not?
I wonder whether one person that lives on that road can cause that change, whether it has to be petitioned and hearings and
No,
all.
because they're not going through, and I don't think it would affect them. It wouldn't affect
To put a
actually
one- to
local
put-
people anyways. We're
put one
concerned
way.
on people traveling through town. You know,
Yeah,
somebody
using it
comes
as a
from
cut
Rutland to
through.
Brandon,
Using it as a
Through.
shortcut.
They're using it as a shortcut and they
it's
go
a
flying
higher
through.
speed limit.
Right.
Well, it isn't anymore.
It's not anymore.
It
Not
will-
anymore.
They
I
have
think
30 more
to
days.
speed up the time in this, I would say,
Just
let's order a
the
couple
signs.
signs.
Order the signs.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's
So
fine.
two signs have already been ordered, I believe.
Wow,
Okay.
there we go.
All right.
But you had asked me to
You
follow
did,
up
yeah,
on
no, you're right,
signage,
yeah.
ordinance, and policies, and I can't find where
Okay.
any town around us
just
has
have
a
Chad
no
put 'em
through
up, I
sign.
guess.
Yeah.
So, but I'm, obviously one down by St. Alphonsus near 7. I just want to make sure the one on this end gets put so
Where they
people
can see
can,
it.
because
Exactly.
once they get to the post office, if it ends up in there somewhere, it's already too late. They're just going to keep going. But if
Right.
if there's a spot, they can get it near 7.
I think there is.
I think there is too,
By the
But
island.
I will,
by the island,
I will
yes.
make sure.
Yeah.
If
And,
this
you
is
know.
such a problem, maybe we ought to encourage our police department to patrol that a little heavier for a while and see if it reveals that it
I
might be
think
a
once
gold
we put
mine
the
for
signs
them.
up, it wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt to spend a
Buy
lot
a new
of time
cruiser
there.
with it.
Yeah.
They've been
But-
spending some time on
Oh, yeah.
Arch too, so.
But the other thing is how you gonna know whether,
Well, when
who
they
it
stop
is.
them.
Well, I think we
I
probably
suppose.
have some eyes that can tell us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will say they do patrol there. I see blue lights a lot out the window, which is great.
Yeah.
Our tickets should be up then if they're.
Well, that's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
it sounds like they have a lot to do, which is great, and with other towns, I mean, it all helps us here. But if they're ever just standing around, send them to Arch Street or
Yeah.
Plains. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people to nab for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
All right,
All right. Great.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
let's
All
try
right.
it. Let's
Yeah.
try it and
Sit
see
by
how
the
it goes.
firehouse, right, stop sign violations all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask a question about this?
Absolutely.
So is the purpose here just to keep people going down Route 7 from using that as a shortcut?
Yes.
Speeding and a shortcut.
And so the first time I heard it brought up in here, though, I thought the idea was to somehow, if you guys made it, like passed an ordinance or somehow made it official, that it wouldn't show up as a route on GPS. Is that still?
Oh, well,
Doesn't
I
matter.
think that was,
I think we could just-
that was the first,
First indicator
First
that it
hole.
goes up.
was that, but then I think from talking to Dave, as he did research, there's no way to,
Okay.
go
took-
from
Because
point A
it's
to
a public
point B.
road.
It took Google and MapQuest almost a year to realize that the intersection of 4A and 4 in West Rutland no longer had where you made
Oh, the jug.
the turn.
Oh, the jug,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the GPS kept rerouting you for over a year
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
in that intersection, so.
And I guess part of the reason I'm asking is I need to know what to say about this. So is this, I mean, local folks have been doing this forever, and is the idea that local folks should stop doing it, or is this sort of like a wink
No,
wink?
not so
just-
much local,
No.
mostly local folks kind of obey this stuff, because they
Yeah.
know the police are there checking. It's 9 times out of 10, it's a car that's flying through here. They'll either have an out-of-state plate, a lot of times, or it's, you recognize people that you know they're not from Pittsford. I mean, I sit the firehouse an awful lot, have for many years, and you pretty much know local people.
The police department, if they're down there and they're active in issuing tickets, they ought to have a good record of whether it's the local people or whether it's out-of-staters that are creating this problem. Because when they stop somebody and write them up, they know where they're from. We can guess at it forever and not be right, but they
Guess
should
we
be
can hope
able
when
to.
the Google car comes around,
They should be
it
able
sees
to-
that sign. But, I mean, I don't know how else you're gonna
And
do
it
that.
may, who knows?
Yeah.
But it does, I mean, I've used, taking a GPS to go somewhere and it tries to send you
tries to
down that
send-
road.
yep.
Cause it's probably 100 feet shorter than
Yeah.
the other way.
It's the most direct route.
Yeah.
All right, but I guess the question is still, I mean, I don't want to misrepresent this to the public. So would it be fair to say Pittsford says don't go down Arch Street unless you live there?
We're posting it as a no-through.
We're posting it as a no-through.
It's a no-through traffic.
That's what
Well,
it is.
As a citizen that lives in Pittsford, and looks at through traffic, it's not fair just to say, don't go down our street if you don't live there, because there are many things on our street. There's a
Right.
school on our
I'm
street.
sort of exaggerating,
Yeah.
but like unless
School.
Well,
you're
don't
going
We're
for
gonna post it
destination
Yeah.
in that neighborhood. like,
We're gonna
don't-
post it as a no-through
Yeah,
traffic
hopefully that'll help.
road.
Keep some of the traffic.
Ideally, for people just to stop getting off 7 to go down Arch Street faster. Create any,
Well,
create
how
a
can-
danger is what we're trying to.
So we've done two
Post
things.
that
We
as
dropped
a
the
no.
speed limit, plus the no-through traffic should help, I would think.
To post that as a no-through traffic, if you're obeying the speed limit,
You're not gonna gain.
Then it's not a problem, you know.
Not a problem. You're not- it's
are
not a
they gonna
problem.
be
And
able to
you're
give
gonna
you a
lose
ticket
because
for
you got
going
stop
all the
signs
way
at-
through, even though you're under the speed limit? I hope not.
No, no.
Well,
Alright.
but it leaves the door always, it says no through, and they follow somebody that's going under the speed limit, and they go all the way through, why can't they ticket them?
Cause there's no ordinance to
There's
go
no
with
ordinance
it.
to back it up.
There's no ordinance to back it up.
That's good.
In
I mean,
conjunction with
and
all
again,
the
it's
lowered
just,
speeds, I appreciate the concern
Yeah.
for pedestrian and just
what is,
vehicle traffic in-
I've had people
within the village.
complain
It's
to me for.
Let's see how this
ever
goes.
About
Yeah.
people going down through there and speeding, and if this,
Does this
you know,
one
if
work?
this takes out 5% of the traffic, then great, you know. It's just cutting down, and hopefully, people with GPS, when they see no through traffic, they will continue down 7 and find out by the time they get past the library, their time hasn't changed to get to their location.
Right.
Plus I gotta stop at each end for stop signs, so.
And in the middle.
And in the middle, so I got two stop signs you
Yeah.
gotta go through.
Right. Yeah.
and that's two
So we'll
tickets to
see,
go through.
hopefully
Yeah.
this does something to help. All
So
right.
it's not aimed at people of Pittsford. All right, if that helps clarify.
You did it again.
Well, you know, you're wrapping around my feet. It's gonna happen.
That's a good place for it anyway,
You
Dave.
should wrap it around twice.
I'll wrap it around my neck
Oh,
now.
no, he shut the speakers off. Just tap it. There you go.
Oh, you shut the speakers off?
All right.
I'm trying.
You're doing a heck of a job.
Okay, let's, anything on the orders, including that additional warrant? Did everyone have a chance to look at that?
I see there's been a couple of
The one that was
sizable
on-
expenses
yeah,
down at the
seat.
transfer station. or the
Joe's got questions.
plant, But apparently they had a leak or something, and there was quite a bit of money had to be spent to correct that problem. but
Yeah,
That's the luck of the draw, I guess.
Yep.
fortunately,
Let's see if I can do one.
so,
I don't
yeah.
have anything on the old one, but I just wanna check the new one here.
All right, well then, recess from that and open up as liquor control board. And we just need to approve
So,
liquor licenses that have been received.
yep, and they are all for the Proctor Pittsford Country Club. One is their outside consumption permit, one is their third-class restaurant bar license, and one is their first-class restaurant bar license, and they're all,
All the same for
all up from the Proctor Pittsford Country Club.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Question for you, is that a DBA?
How to get a discount.
Proctor Pittsford Country Club. Inc.
Oh, okay, so they have their own now. Okay, because it used to be the restaurant name.
No, it's all under
Pro-
Proctor Pittsford Country Club Inc.
You didn't get in.
Every year they have to be reapproved. That's a state
That's alcohol
regulation.
business.
Yeah.
All right, maybe there is still hope for us to get it
Phil,
anyway.
Are we out of liquor board?
Sorry, yes, add a liquor board, and that actually, if there's nothing else, that'll add, end the open part of our meeting before we go into executive session.